Hey there, my name's Curtis Lucas, and you're watching Empire Building. So yeah, that wasn't clickbait. I did sell a good portion of my Mara shares today.
Shame. Shame.
I still can't say if it was the right decision or not, but it is more or less consistent with my investment strategy. I've been holding onto those shares since well before Christmas. And after the move we've just had this last week, I thought it might be prudent to certainly take a little bit off the top, or frankly in this case, well over half. I did leave behind 10,000 shares in one of my accounts, which is sort of a base position I don't really ever plan to sell anytime soon. I've been in these stocks a very, very long time, so I know how quickly things can turn around. But there is another phase that I'm hoping to get into in terms of my investment strategy, which I have yet to venture into. And this is the options market. I know a lot of you are trading those, and the opportunities there are, let's face it, insane. And this is a field I have never ventured into because I never really saw it as worth the risk to not only have to decide the direction a stock is going to go in, but also pick a time frame for that to happen. But honestly, until this opportunity came around, I never thought I would actually have the upper hand. Again, all this is still contingent on my thesis that Bitcoin will continue to rise throughout the year, faster than the difficulty rate can on the Bitcoin network. That's the crux of this entire opportunity. If that thesis does not prove true, then there's a significant amount of risk here. But the beauty of it is, in this sector, we have real-time evidence that we can constantly look to. In the recent videos I've been uploading, I've been outlining exactly how you can predict the revenue that these companies will attain once all their miners are deployed. So you can check that thesis every single day and see if it still rings true. This is what I love about this opportunity. That kind of transparency is unheard of. There's no other company out there where you can get that close a look inside their operations. There's no way of knowing how many cars Tesla is going to deliver until they post it. You can infer, you can project, but in the end, it's very hard to accurately predict. Since this system is built on an open-sourced, publicly disclosed mathematical system, then the information is available to all of us if we understand how to read it. So for me, since I've never actually executed an options contract before, my account was not set up to do so. I had to open a brand new tax-free savings account that had the ability to trade options. And I had to fund that account, but all of my funds have been deployed. And there was no way I was going to sell my position in any capacity until I felt that we had run through at least a large portion of this next run, which at this point, I think it's a lot safer to say maybe we're pretty close. Because now, in order for me to transfer those funds into my new account, I have to wait 2 days minimum for that trade to clear. I feel a lot better at sitting out after a 100% move in 1 week for 2 days than I did at the beginning of this week, which is when I had this account set up. But as I mentioned, regardless, I've still got 10,000 shares of Mara. But that being my base position, it really doesn't matter what happens next. I also know that it's time for me to start diversifying into all the other opportunities that we have had. I have been irresponsibly long on Mara for way too long, and a lot of those opportunities have passed me by. But like I said before, I had made my bed and I was prepared to sleep in it. But now that we've come this far, I do feel a whole lot better about making this move now and starting to spread myself out. I will note that exiting this position was an incredibly hard thing for me to do, and I certainly didn't time it perfectly, but I knew that was going to be the case. I cost averaged out of this position as Bitcoin approached $40,000. It seemed logical to me that Bitcoin wasn't just going to simply blow right through $40,000 without some kind of consolidation or correction. Or, if I'm lucky, a downright reversal. I still don't know if either of those is the case. But once I had completed the sale of all of the shares I was looking to unload, Bitcoin did run back up and faked that breakout. And it got me. I actually did buy back 20,000 shares like that. And I had done so just before it broke through $40,000, and I thought, hey, I made a mistake, but at least I'm back in, only to have it completely reverse. And I had to make a quick sale, and I think I lost somewhere around $20,000 US in seconds. And this is why I don't like to day trade. It's too nerve-wracking. But I'm happy with the way things have turned out overall, and I'm prepared to suffer whatever consequences that follow. I've seen down in the comments that I'm not the only one that took the opportunity to take some profits off the top today, and I'm here to tell you all that is perfectly fine. I'm not going to sit here as some kind of moral authority to tell people that you should never be selling these shares. Yes, I do believe the long-term potential is incredible, but I have been in these things long enough to know that things can turn around at the drop of a dime. And that does present some incredible opportunities. So when things get this heavily extended, there is nothing wrong with taking a little bit of that opportunity. But as I've said way at the beginning when I started covering these stocks, you just need to be modest about it. Especially on days like today, it moves incredibly fast. This is why when I chose to exit, I didn't do so all at once. And as I've done before, when I thought I was being proven wrong, I chose to jump back in. This time, turned out I was actually right. But these things can fake you out sometimes. But sooner or later, you've got to make a decision and commit. As always, I don't have anything against day traders, but in my opinion, you really shouldn't be trading these things multiple times a day or even multiple times a week. If I am a trader, I would definitely consider myself to be more of a macro trader looking for long-term swing trades. And this is going to be my strategy when looking at call options when I'm ready to do so. And there's no way I'm taking out call option contracts after a stock that's run 100% in 1 week. There's going to be pain coming. And when that pain comes, I'll be ready to move. My strategy here is to put aside roughly $50,000 or so to start to execute multiple options contracts. And I'm going to do an in-depth video on that topic in the near future to describe the type of strategy that I'm going to employ. Now, I will remind you yet again, I am a complete newbie at this, but I have done a little bit of research, and I'm going to continue to do that research before I actually execute on this. But they certainly will not be short-term option calls. And not just on any principle, but I will never execute puts on anything. I don't short stocks, and I don't bet against them, especially not in this space. But if you choose to do so, that's entirely up to you. Yes, they can make you a lot of money, but I will never, ever stand in front of this train. But needless to say, it was an exciting day, and I know a lot of you are very excited with how the week has gone. One more trading day left and then another weekend. Since I've already made my decision, you all know I'm going to be out of the market, at least mostly. I've still got my 10,000 shares. This way I know that no matter what happens to my positions, that 10,000 shares will be there a long time from now, whether I'm right or wrong with the rest of it. And for me, I've decided that that is enough for me to get the maximum benefit that I feel I need from this position. But I do think it's time that the rest get redistributed. So I'm also going to be working on a strategy exactly how to deploy the rest of those funds. And I'll cover that in another video very soon. But I hope you're all staying safe out there, especially our American friends south of the border. I know you're going through a hard time. But I guess the overall takeaway from this is even though the stock can move a great deal in either direction in 2 days, it still can't hold a candle to what we'll be looking at over the coming years. It's okay if you make a mistake every now and then, but I do find if the decision you make is going against the herd, your odds of making the right decision are actually far greater. But I will say, doing that day in and day out would give me a freaking migraine. I don't know how you day traders do it, but God bless you, because if it wasn't for you, these stocks would be nowhere near as liquid as they are. So needless to say, I am thrilled to hear how well everybody's doing, but remember, the sun can't shine forever. And the reality is that Bitcoin could certainly use a nice, healthy pullback to just sort of rebalance the scales. Things are looking very stretched out there. But as we know, it's not up to us. You just got to do your best and make the best decision that you know how. I've explained my strategy in this regard, but you really need to develop your own that's consistent with the level of risk that you are comfortable with. I mainly preach the buy and hold strategy because it is the least stressful. And for someone like me who just doesn't have the time to go through what I went through today, it just makes that much more sense. But that's really all I wanted to share with you today. If you're still holding on, talk about it down in the comments. If you sold, let me know how you feel about it. Are you regretting it already, or are you happy? That's all for this one. Now let's get back to empire building. Bye.